Hi there, welcome to today's reading. Today's going to be a full moon reading for today, November 27th, 2023. So how this works is I'm just going to shuffle the deck and pick a card or let one fall out for today's energy. Since this one fell out, we can go with this one. Seeing Beyond, number 36. So immediately I can tell that this card is very fitting for today because it's a full moon reading, and this card is about intuition. And what does the full moon do? It strengthens your intuition. This card is about seeing beyond the surface, seeing beyond what's in front of you and what you can only physically see with your own eyes. Your intuition, right? The things that you can see and sense without your physical vision and eyes. So there are two ways to view this world. First way is to view it from a face value perspective. What you see is what you get. And the second is allowing your imagination to see beyond what something is right now and move into a place that doesn't yet exist in this material world. So a lot of it has to do with what you're looking at in your perspective and how you choose to see things, how deep you choose to see things. What this card is telling you is that there's endless possibilities for you if you just dig deeper and dive deeper into your intuition and what you truly want and stop just looking at the surface level of things and what you feel like you think you can get done. If you're only looking at the surface of these things and these possibilities in your life and things that you want to do in your future, if you're only looking at what the realistic side of it, you might only get the realistic side of it. You might not get anything more. But if you look beyond that, you're going to get more things drawn towards you that bring you closer to what it is that you want. Your intuition is just a step under manifestation. If you can see it, then it's possible. Okay, desire hardens, so when you really want something, if you really do want something and you continue wanting it, you keep drawing things towards you that brings you closer to it. That's manifestation. That's the power of our minds and our thoughts and speaking things into existence or thinking things into existence. Just thinking about it alone and using your intuition to kind of dig deeper is kind of like a form of meditation. And your intuition and meditation connects you closer to that wavelength that you need to be on to get where you need to be. If you don't go that deep and you only look at the surface level of what you feel like you can get or what people tell you how far you can only get, then that's all you're going to get. There's nothing more that can be drawn to you. It's basically limiting yourself and stopping your own potential. As you channel these visions through you, you become a superconductor to the world and a magnet for manifestation. And there's no better time than now than to channel these visions because it's a full moon. And the full moon heightens your intuition and it also strengthens manifestation. This is a great time to manifest things during full moon. Since this is a general reading for a lot of people, I'm also seeing that there are a lot of things that you might not be seeing, that you might be doing that other people aren't seeing also. For instance, there could be some things that people are doing behind your back that you might not know about. That could be a problem. Vice versa, you could be doing something sneakily, maybe not even realizing. Just know that there are some things out there that you might not be seeing that your intuition is being called for so that that stuff can be brought to the surface and you can know about it. As well as other people, or you can become aware of what you possibly could be doing to someone that could be affecting them and you might not even realize, or maybe you do realize. I am sensing a little bit more negativity than positivity in this card, but that's not necessarily a bad thing all the way, okay? Your intuition is going to be strengthened through this process. You're also going to be getting a lot of answers that you've been looking for just by digging deep in your intuition and strengthening it and seeing beyond the surface of what you were originally looking at. There might be some disappointments with some of the things that you do find out and some of the things that do come to the surface. However, you will get an equal amount of relief from the heaviness that it was putting inside of you just from not knowing and from being under the surface and you didn't even realize. So you will come out of it feeling a little bit lighter, a little less heavy and dense, as well as getting a lot of more answers that you've been looking for. But not focusing on the negatives, focusing on the good parts of this card, seeing beyond, seeing all your possibilities, seeing beyond the surface of what people tell you you can accomplish, and seeing the possibilities of your future after these things came to the surface, because some things might change after you figure out some of these things after you dig deep into your intuition. And maybe that's why you haven't just yet, because you're kind of scared of the answers. You might know deep down inside, of course, that's your intuition knowing, and you might be too scared to kind of embrace it or to kind of dig deeper because you don't want that truth to come out, which is completely understandable. But just know that when these truths do come to the surface, you'll realize a lot of things, and a lot of things will change positively for you. So don't be afraid to dig deep in your intuition and to truly think about things all the way, because you won't discover your true potential until you look beyond the surface. I'm also sensing a lot of you feel like you already looked past the surface and dug into your intuition, but this card is urging you to keep going, because I'm seeing that a lot of you have stopped. Like you maybe dived right in and then you saw something scary that you didn't want to see or that you didn't like, so you kind of just hopped back up to the surface, which is completely understandable. But this card is urging you to keep going, because those good things are very down at the bottom. It's not going to be right under the surface. You got to get through the hard things and the levels of things in order to get to those good things, those good potentials. And just be able to see your true potential, and just being able to see it, even if you're not there just yet, just be able to see what hasn't happened yet, but what is possible, brings it towards you. It catapults it towards you, puts you on a wavelength that's closer to that wavelength to get you there. And as long as you keep digging deeper, keep wanting it, keep pushing for it, then desire hardens, and eventually you will hop on that wavelength and get it. But if you just let it go because you don't feel like you can truly get past that level, then you're never going to get there, because it's you who's limiting yourself and who's not allowing yourself to push past the surface and see what your true potential really is. So this card, to recap, is about intuition. It's reading your intuition. It's about not ignoring your intuition and pushing past, seeing beyond the surface of what is in front of your eyes and what you can only see with your two eyes. Becoming aware of the things that are under the surface that you can sense but you don't see. Seeing beyond the surface, bringing things to light that maybe you do that you don't realize that you do, bother other people, or vice versa. Just things coming to the surface that other people do or are doing that you might not be aware of. That's why you need to dig deeper and look into your intuition, regardless of whether it's scary or not, because these things need to come to the surface in order for you to grow. Yes, you might experience some disappointments through this process, but in the long run, you're strengthening your intuition and you're getting a lot of answers that you wanted deep down inside that you needed to know, as well as seeing all the possibilities that you didn't see before, all the potential in your life and future that you didn't see before you dug beneath the surface. So please, please, please do not ignore your intuition, especially around this time when there's a full moon, because your intuition is heightened. So really stick with that gut feeling. Don't ignore it, because it might just bring to the surface a lot of things that you needed to know and a lot of things that you wanted to know. So really tune into that third eye chakra and dig deep into your intuition, however you might need to do that, whether that be through meditation, whether that be through anything that silences your mind or silences your visual perspective, so that you can just really get into your thoughts and into your head to really listen to what your mind is telling you deep down. A lot of the answers are there inside of you, but since you're still at surface level, you're not going to see those answers. But really sit down, listen to yourself, listen to your thoughts, and tune out everything in this material world other than what's in your head. And if you just truly listen and sit still, things will become a lot clearer in your head and thoughts will be a lot easier to process. Meditation and sitting still is great for this, because the mind and body is connected, right? So when you sit still and you relax your body, your mind will automatically connect and do the same thing, and your thoughts will become a lot calmer and stiller, and it'll be easier to work through them and process those thoughts in your head. When your thoughts become slower and calmer, you're able to better manage them, work through them, and then there'll be gaps between each thought so that you can see those answers slipping through between those thoughts. That's part of how meditation works. So again, this card urges you, and I urge you, to trust your intuition around this time. Just trust it, trust your gut. It is not wrong. And if you're currently going through something where you can't truly see the magnitude of it, or you can't see it from a higher perspective or from, the whole entire perspective, then this card is urging you that trust your gut feeling. If you're feeling something negative about it, then you're most likely right. So trust your gut feeling around this time, and most of the time actually, but especially around this time or on the full moon. So that was the reading for today's full moon on November 27, 2023. I hope it resonated with some of you, if not all of you. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for tomorrow's reading.